Hello, my name is Tabitha, and this is my new BookTube channel, We the Foxes. What I wanted to do with this was, I love books, and I just wanted to talk to people about books, and I actually discovered BookTube pretty recently, and I thought, well, why not? Why not? So against my fears of putting myself out there, I am doing it. And I thought that I would do the cliche thing and start with the beginner's newbie tag as an introduction. So here we go. The first question, why did you start this channel? Already kind of glazed over this one. I stumbled upon BookTube when I was just letting, YouTube go. And I found Elliot Brooks. She was the first booktuber that I came across. And through her, one of her Booktubers I Love videos, I also found Books with Brittany. Both of which are staples that I watch nearly every day now. Guess I'll tag them below. And I thought, why not? As I said. So, question 2. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to BookTube? Well, I read a lot of things, different genres, topics, however you want to categorize it, and my cat is hitting my camera. Awesome. I read histories, I read fantasy, I read sci-fi, biographies. I love to read about historical royalty, comic books, you name it. I've tried it, or I'm willing to try new things. I believe that I could bring a little bit more variety, as I see that some of the more popular booktubers kind of stick in their favorite genres. Okay, Aesop, you're just gonna have to come here. This is my cat Aesop, and he wants attention. Of course, when I'm filming my very first BookTube video. So continuing on with question 2, I just think that I could, bring a little bit more breadth and more of a broad spectrum. Do a lot of back catalog stuff, since I have lists upon lists. I love my lists. Lists of things that I would like to read in my lifetime, because it'll take that long. Longer, because I probably will never get to all of it. So, question 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Putting myself out there and talking to new people. Talking about my favorite thing, which is books. Possibly getting some new friends out of it, since I am an introvert and I don't do that very easily. Question 4. Why do you love reading? I like to escape. I like to pretend that I am in this fantastical place, or I am someone else, or just, reading about someone else's amazing life, learning about things so I can understand other people's experiences. I just love to read and learn. 5, which book series got you into reading? Okay, so I am a former gifted child. I started reading like full-on books when I was 4, and I still read a lot. So the first book, and I have the copy of the first book that I ever read at 4, not saying that I probably got a lot out of it when I was that age, but I have reread it a couple times since, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And this is the 70s cartoon movie edition, and you can see it's beat up and uncleanable stains, and it's smog in the cover, and it's a really awesome. See, it's got the illustrations in there. Really awesome copy. This is what I learned to read on, because my mom is a genius and she taught me how to read. So that explains why I learned to read The Hobbit at 4. After that, something a little bit more child level, and these are the copies that I learned to read on and that my mom read to me, was Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. I love Winnie the Pooh. Who doesn't love Winnie the Pooh? And I just love that I have the whole thing, really beat up editions, a little box set that I have from when I was a kid. And that's what I started reading on, and it's just gone over the mountain since. It's a bit crazy, my library. What are we on? We are on 6. Okay. Question 6. What questions would you ask your fave booktubers? Can we be friends? I'm kind of already friends with Books with Brittany on Goodreads, but that's just like list friends. And she liked one of my comments on her videos. That's about as far as that friendship goes. Maybe do some collabs or something. Anyway, I'm an introvert and I want friends. 7. What challenges in starting a channel do you think will be hardest for you? Not rambling, or on the opposite of that, actually thinking of something to say without putting myself down beforehand that I'm going to say something stupid. Rambling. Also consistently putting out content, and also the video editing. Never done any of that before. I'm a little bit of a Luddite when it comes to technology. I don't really know how to do many things other than to surf the web and use basic apps. So there's that. We'll see how this video turns out. 8. When did you start reading? Like I said, 4. And I've never stopped except for my first year of college. And that was a weird time. I think it's a weird time for everyone. 8 is what I just did. 9, where do you read? Anywhere. I love reading during commutes. I love reading on my couch, in my bed, in a chair, outside if it's nice enough. I always have a book with me or on my phone. Stop hitting the camera, Aesop. Okay, question 10. It's the final question. What kind of books do you read? I think I already mentioned that, but let's do it again. I read sci-fi, fantasy, some of which are YA, which I'm kind of starting to get into. Biographies about movie stars, royalty, comedians, and those are the ones that I really like in audio form, because then I can hear the person tell the story. That's cool. Used to have a problem with audiobooks aren't real reading and all that. Got over my prejudice. I listen to audiobooks. That is reading. Comics, graphic novels, poetry, historical fiction, nonfiction, so some science, political science, cultural issues, religion. I read all sorts of stuff. So what I want to show you now that the questions are done, and we've fulfilled the contract of the BookTube newbie tag, I want to show you some of my favorite books. I'm not going to get into them real in-depth. Just want to show you my favorite books. Probably in a future video, I will get into it more. But for now, this is them. So my absolute favorite book that I've probably read like 5 times now, kind of itching to read it again, is my super beat up version of Kushiel's Dart. So, Kushiel's Dart is a super epic fantasy. Some people would consider it a little bit of historical fiction, but, you know, the main character is from a country whose religion is based on sex. That's awesome. But it's not necessarily a romance. It is political thriller. It is mythology. It is adventure. Awesome book. Love this book. Now, another one that a lot of people have as one of their favorites is American Gods. This is all going to be backwards, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, American Gods, Neil Gaiman. Also love Sandman. I think I've read the whole of Sandman maybe 3 times. That's a lot of reading. Plus, I'm reading or listening to the audio play on Audible. Love it. Love it. I'll probably do a video about that. And another one, Wicked. I believe that everyone has a story that they relate to the most. And while it's not my all-time favorite story, The Wizard of Oz, I always related to the witch for some reason. And when I saw this, Match Made in Heaven, story about the Wicked Witch of the West and how she became said Wicked Witch. Also, really love, and I know that Orson Scott Card has become a little problematic. However, I still really love these books. Ender's Game, which most people have read, especially after they sad attempt at a movie. But I really, really love the next book, which is when Ender is middle-aged, is Speaker for the Dead. Love this book. The trilogy is awesome, but I still love this one the most, I think. Before I make all of this far too long for an intro, thank you for watching all the way through. Thank you for having me on BookTube. So if you could just let me know in the comments what you think of my favorite books, of my answers. Let's have a chat, okay? So thank you for coming by, and we'll talk later. Bye.